Welcome back to Nessa's Knife Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at the Maxace Hephaestus. This is one heavy-duty folding knife. This thing is so big and so strong, it's crossing the lines between uses, I guess, between a folding knife and a fixed blade knife. It's huge. It comes with a couple interesting features, such as a thread-in pin where you can actually lock out the folding mechanism so that it is essentially a fixed blade knife. And if you don't want to go that far, on the frame lock you also have this dial right here that you can turn, where you can see how it functions as a normal frame lock where you can unlock it. Or if you turn this, a small pin rotates into place and you cannot open the frame lock. So it's essentially locked out that way. I suppose you could do both, and that and the pin, and have just about complete freedom from worry of the thing closing up on you. It's a big beast. This thing, let's get a couple measurements on it. It's certainly a pocket filler, to say the least. Overall length, we're looking at 9.5 inches. Blade length, looks like about 4 1/8. The front of the scale there. Sharpened length about the same. Let's take a look at blade stock thickness on this. Somewhere in that 230 to 235 thousandths of an inch, which is gigantic. For how large it is, they've tuned the detent really well. It functions and fires very nicely. You don't even need any wrist for something of this size. It will just fire right out. You can use the flipper tab. It also has these thumb studs, which are actually stop pins, additional stop pins. You have one plus the thumb stud stop pins. There's no play. This thing is super locked up. But you can use those to open it up just fine. You also have this fuller area in the blade. I found that to be maybe a touch easier to get between the two of them. If you're going to use the thumb flicking technique on it, that works pretty well. This version is full titanium with Bowler M390 blade stock. You can see minimal billboarding. They do say Hephaestus M390 2022. Has a milled titanium pocket clip. Not deep carry. You're going to see a fair amount of the knife, and I think that's probably the point with this. This is not exactly a practical piece. This is definitely more of a show-off piece, something to add to the collection, conversation starter, that sort of thing. You do have a lanyard loop on the back if you're so inclined. This model is the gray titanium with the silver titanium overlays. They have, I think, 3 different versions. There's one with the black base and gold overlays, and then there's one that looks like this with Damascus overlays, which is pretty cool looking. Street price is about $425. I got mine at White Mountain Knives. I used one of my favorite reviewers' codes for 10% off. So if you have a favorite reviewer, find their code and 10% off of $425, $42, $42.50. So not an insignificant amount. Let's get a quick weight on this before you go, just so you know what you're getting into, and it's not going to be little. 10.8 ounces. As I said, this is a big knife, but it's a fun knife, functions well, was designed very well, finished work. This is my first Maxace, and I'm super impressed. There are no hot spots when you grab it. It's very ergonomic. They knock down every edge, and you can see how angular this thing is. There should be a ton of sharp edges on it, and they have everything knocked down. Very, very well done. So I would recommend it if it's something that it's definitely something that you're gonna have to want. It's not normal. It's not something that's typical that you're gonna find in most people's collections, I would say, or in use for most people. But if you like different knives, if you like adding variety to your collection, this thing is pretty cool. And I've had a lot of fun just flipping it around the house. And the noise that it makes, I should say that before we go here. The noise that it makes when it opens, that clack, I'm sure, is lost on this YouTube video. In person, it's awesome. So if you like what you've seen here, please like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. And thanks for joining me. See ya.